Worries are sometimes loud and annoying and can take up a lot of space in our head. They are thoughts that cause us to feel concerned and sometimes anxious. Thoughts are words or images that buzz around our head. They are our brain's way of communicating. We have thoughts all day long and they can be helpful or they can sometimes be quite unhelpful. They can be fairly pleasant and we might want more of those thoughts, such as I love cheesecake. Or they can just be neutral, such as apples can be red or green, or there is an apple. Sometimes thoughts can be unpleasant and we might try to avoid those thoughts, such as that smell is disgusting. Worries are thoughts too, and they are also very normal. We all have worries from time to time. We can worry about the future and things that haven't happened yet. We can worry about the past, about things that have happened that might have upset us or caused us concern. And we can worry about things that are currently happening too. Sometimes worries can lead us to feeling physical feelings in our body, such as our tummy feeling knotted or fluttering. Some adults might describe this feeling to you as a sense of having butterflies. If we worry a lot, it might also lead to anxiety. Anxiety is when we are very upset, concerned or stressed, and we feel this very physically in our body. We might get sweaty, clammy, our heart rate might get quicker and feel like it's beating very fast. We could feel shaky or have a dry mouth or feel sick even. Everybody feels anxiety sometimes, it is a normal emotion. But if we are feeling a lot of these symptoms a lot of the time, then we might feel very unsettled and upset. If you are struggling with these feelings in your body, whilst also having a lot of thoughts too, then it can start to affect us every day. We might feel anxious in certain places, such as at school or going to a friend's house. We all have worries, they are normal. We often tend to worry more at night time when we are trying to fall to sleep. This is because we are not distracted, so our thoughts sound louder. These children give examples of how they worry and what might be helpful to try when we are worrying.
Sometimes I worry at night time and it stops me from falling asleep. It helps me to write down my thoughts or listen to audiobooks to calm my brain down.
I'm 9. I worry about things like burglars maybe getting into my house. I talk to my mum or dad when I'm worried and this helps.
Worries are normal. You might have worries similar to these children, or you might have different ones. Anxiety is an emotion that has kept us safe as a species for thousands of years. It is our internal alarm. When we are anxious, our brain releases chemicals called adrenaline or cortisol. These are the chemicals that cause the physical symptoms to happen in our body. You might have heard of this being called fight, flight, or freeze. This is because when we feel very anxious, our body is primed to keep us safe by getting us ready to fight, flight, run away, or freeze, stand still or hide. If you think back to the very early days of our species when we were cavemen and we came across a lion getting ready to pounce on us, we would have had to try to keep us and our tribe safe, so our brains got us ready to either fight the lion, run away from the lion, or freeze in the face of danger. This is still the case today, all those thousands of years later. We need this alarm system to keep us safe. But sometimes our internal alarm system might go off for something that is in fact probably not all that dangerous, such as a small spider. It is often our worries that start to escalate and get louder, which then cause our body to start to feel anxious. For example, if we are worried about falling out with a friend at school, we might then start to feel anxious about going to school, starting to feel sick maybe about leaving our parent, or about playtime and who we might stand with. Usually what we tend to do is think about concerns in the future. For example, what if mum forgets to pick me up from school? Or what if they don't like me? We worry about things that haven't happened yet. This is normal. It's because our brain is designed to be an alarm system that keeps us safe. It is trying to help us to look out for potential dangers. Think of your brain as a machine. It scans the environment you are in, looking for what might cause problems. It then hooks in a potential problem and tries to solve it, spitting it out the other side of the machine. The problem with this is that problems can't be solved if they have not yet happened. So how can we begin to solve the problem of our friend maybe falling out with us if it hasn't happened yet? Practicing what we can control can be one way to focus and be more present in our thinking, rather than focusing on the future and what might happen. So, for example, focusing on when you are with your friend, really listening to what they are saying and showing kindness in your friendship. Maybe planning your break time so that you have things to do rather than worry about who you might be playing with. For instance, checking out what clubs are happening in school, or going to talk to a new person you haven't spoken with yet and simply introducing yourself. It is key to remember when it comes to worrying that there are some things in our control and some things that are not. This is a good question to ask yourself when you notice yourself worrying. Is this something within my control currently? If not, practice letting that worry go. Writing it down can help, journaling or keeping a list. If you have a phone, maybe easily logging this onto a notepad could help. Taking a breath in and out and talking back to yourself can also be helpful. So, for example, saying something like, I am in control, I have got this, or this emotion will pass. These can be helpful statements to say to ourselves. All of these strategies can take a lot of practice to remember in the moment. The more you spend time saying these things to yourself when you are not worrying, the more easily they will come to you when you are. Maybe writing these statements down could also be helpful. You can remind yourself that the thoughts you are having are not facts. They are just a bunch of words that your brain machine has thrown together in its process of trying to look out for danger. Remind yourself that you have the ability to problem solve, because you do. You are a human, and we are a very clever, amazing species.